Well, it's that time of week again. We are here, and it was the finale of Game of Thrones. Let's talk about this episode. So, that's us. We're all done. This will be my last video on Game of Thrones for about 18 months, 2 years, I think it is, before the next season comes out. But what a way to finish. Absolutely loved this episode. Now, again, what I'm going to do in this video, I'm going to give you a rundown of everything that happened in this episode. I'm going to give you my thoughts and feelings on everything, and I'll have at the end kind of overall summary of the season, and maybe a look into what I'm expecting for the final ever season of Game of Thrones. So again, if you haven't ever watched any of these videos, this is a spoiler heavy thing, so if you've not watched the last episode of the season of Game of Thrones, don't watch this just now. Hit pause, come back to it after you've watched the episode, and then we can all be on the same page of what we know and what we don't know. So we'll just crack on and we'll get into it. So it kicks off this week with a look at the Unsullied and the Dothraki. We're seeing it from Jaime and Bronn's eye level, and that is a pretty intimidating army. The Unsullied first of all, and then you hear the high pitched screams of the Dothraki riding in as well. When it comes to my thoughts on this, we got glimpses of both armies kind of at work. We didn't really get the big battle that we were hoping for, but again, I think that's going to come next season, and I'm going to kind of touch on things like that in my whole season review later. But we didn't get a real good look at the two armies, or three armies if you want to include the Lannisters army. We didn't really get a good look at them, but I thought that was really cool the way to set it up, and we're getting closer and closer to conflict. But then we get to the big main part that we were all looking forward to, that the 7 seasons have been leading up to, where we're getting all the main characters all meeting up. It was really, we were looking to see Jon, Cersei and Daenerys all meeting up for the first time. But what I loved about this scene, it was so methodically edited, and it was a really slow pace, and I liked that. It gave us the build, it gave it the ambience that we wanted in this scene. It gave it such a good feeling when we were actually finally seeing all these characters meet for the first, well, not for the first time, sorry, for the first time in a long time. So we've got the meeting at the Dragon Pit. Obviously we're there for the two queens to kind of butt heads, but you had the likes of Cersei, Dany, the Hound, the Mountain, Brienne of Tarth, Pod, Tyrion, Euron, Theon, Jaime, Jon Snow, all these characters coming in, and there was loads of wee looks between people. So you had the Hound and Brienne of Tarth catching eyes. You had the Hound and the Mountain having a bit of conflict, saying, "Look, you know who's coming for you. You know what will happen. You've always known it. So we're going to get Clegane Bowl next season." Obviously, I always thought that was going to be the point. You had a nice reunion between Tyrion and Bronn and Tyrion and Pod. Obviously, Bronn, he's cock joke, wouldn't be Bronn otherwise. Euron locking eyes with Theon, and that whole scene was it held a lot of surprises, because obviously when we see them all meeting and Cersei's pissed off that Dany hasn't turned up with the rest of them, but fuck me, she can make an entrance on Drogon, just chills out. Drogon just climbs down and she walks up and very just like, "Oh, sorry, I'm late." So obviously Tyrion starts speaking, and then Euron, he's like a grenade. Honestly, like it's such a tense situation with all these people meeting, and he just starts making dwarf jokes and this, that, and the other thing. And obviously Cersei, Jaime at first kind of says to him, "Just shut up and let us go on with this." And Cersei eventually is the one that gets him to sit down. But again, I thought that was so well juxtaposed when you've got this really tight, "Oh no, who's going to say what's happening?" And Euron just batters in. Brilliant me seeing that bit. And then obviously we get Tyrion kind of explaining to them, "Look, we're all here. We know we don't like each other. You don't like us. We don't like you. We've all tried to kill each other at one point. But the reason we're here is we need to survive." Obviously Cersei doesn't believe them. You get the Hound returning. He must do his squats, by the way, deadlifting that stuff. Comes in with a crate, and we see the crate, obviously. Now that got me. I thought, "Oh, it's died. Somebody's killed it, or it's just, or the White Walkers have realised what they're trying to do, and they've somehow killed him or something." I don't know, but I thought it was dead. And then obviously the Hound gives it a boot, and it bolts for Cersei. Now you see the two different reactions to Cersei. Cersei was pissed that Daenerys didn't come, but she was prepared for that. She obviously knew the dragons were going to come, and everybody, when the dragons were over, were up like, looking and couldn't believe what was going to happen. She remained seated. She remained composed. She wasn't going to show her cards, kind of thing. As much as there were flickers of like, oh, but she was very composed and didn't want to show her hand. Whereas she was not prepared for this. She didn't expect this Walking Dead guy, and she obviously you've seen the reaction that she gave. So they then talk about, look, we want a truce. This is the only way we can see us defeating this. And Euron wisely says, can these go over water? And they're like, no, they can't. It's right, I'm pissing off to my island. Daenerys, you should probably do the same, and then we'll be the only two alive. So Euron fucks off, basically. Well, obviously we've seen the episode, so we know he doesn't fuck off. But at that point in time, he fucks off. But Cersei kind of, she says, look, I'll help you fight them. I'll agree to your terms, but Jon, you have to remain up here and be loyal to me and not go and be treacherous towards me. And Jon, being Jon, the only noble, good character in Game of Thrones, in my opinion, sticks to his word. He says, no, I've promised my services to Queen Daenerys, and that's it. So Cersei kicks off and says, right, nah, fuck you just can go and fight the White Walkers by yourself. And she bolts. So everybody's like, oh, Jon, why don't you lie, and this, that. And Jon, again, it just shows you the character in Jon, that he's like, look, if we're all going to lie, there's never going to be a point where we can trust each other. So I'm not going to lie. I'm not that kind of person. I know my dad was. And there was a running theme throughout the episode with Ned Stark kept getting mentioned. Not Daenerys, sorry. Cersei kept saying Ned Stark's son would stay up here. Ned Stark wouldn't do this. Ned Stark's son wouldn't do this. Ned Stark's son wouldn't do that. And it was just kind of reinforcing this, that Jon is so much like his father. So we finish at the dragon pit, sorry, and we move off to, where do we go? We see Peter, we see Littlefinger, and he's talking to Sansa, and fucking hell, he's a deviant prick, doing his deviant thing, and he's turning Sansa against Arya in his conniving little way. So we obviously see him try to play games with Sansa's head, and he talks about, look, what's the worst case scenario in your head? Why is Arya came here? Why is she here? What purpose would she be here? What's she going to do to you? And we obviously see Sansa doubting Arya at this point, and I might reiterate again, Littlefinger's a wee knob. I fucking hate him. So we go back to King's Landing, we see Jaime walking out, or Tyrion decides he's like, I'll go and talk to my sister, see if I can kind of talk sense. And we see Jaime is walking out just as Tyrion's walking in, and he's like, look, I spoke at her and she wouldn't listen to me. And Tyrion's like, oh, well, I need to see what I can do. And the two of them kind of have a nice wee moment together where they're talking about how they're both idiots and they're just trying to make things work the best way they know how. So Tyrion goes in and starts talking to Cersei, and Cersei does not want to see Tyrion. She doesn't want his sympathy about the children dying, just hates him. And Tyrion, again, Peter Dinklage, a fantastic actor performing again. Also Cersei as well, great performance for her. This is the first point of weakness we see of Cersei in this episode, and I've not seen a lot of people mention this. Tyrion goes on a rant about how it is my fault that your kids have died, it's my fault your father's dead. Excuse me. I've wanted to kill you on numerous occasions, so just give the order to the mountain and kill me. Just do it. She can't do it. First bit of weakness for Cersei in this episode. Marsh was making bubbles. It was, oh my god, I thought they can't kill Tyrion. Not now, we need him for the next season. And I really thought she was going to just go kill him, because it would have been, well, we would have seen what happened. But obviously they didn't. They kind of get to talking, and eventually Tyrion turns Cersei's mind. She says, right, okay, yeah, fair enough. She kind of starts playing with her belly, and she lets on that she's pregnant. Tyrion, obviously, you're pregnant. She's not pregnant. She's a lying bitch. That's prediction right there. You can pen it. 9 minutes and 51 seconds into this. She's not pregnant. She's a liar. She lies. Where do we go? Back with Sansa. We see Sansa. She wants to call. She wants to see Arya in her chamber. So Arya walks in and she's got everybody and she's talking about, right, you're going to get tried for murder and conspiracy against, for treason and this, that, all these charges. And she's like, you sure you want to do this? Sansa's like, I want to do this. And Arya's like, fine, let's do this. And then she turns. The best bit of the season. I was so pleased because this is what I said would happen. And for a slight second when we seen Peter talking to Sansa, I thought it's not going to happen, but it does. She turns on Peter Baelish. Sansa, what are you talking about? He's a dick. So we obviously see him, and it's the best way for he could have died on his knees, begging and crying, getting at bubbles and all this, that, and the other thing. And I tell you something, I've wrote his name down. Aidan Gillen. Props to you, my man. As much as I'm saying I absolutely despise Littlefinger, it's clearly just because of how well Aidan Gillen performs it. He makes him so unlikable. Makes me absolutely. I think he's probably the person, including like Joffrey and Ramsay. I hate Littlefinger because he's a rat, whereas Joffrey was just a tool. Or no, in fact, we'll go Lady Tyrell. He was a cunt. Whereas Littlefinger's managed to snake it. Even for the beginning, he was the one that helped kill Ned Stark, and that is just rolled on with everybody else. He's literally just about took out every member of the Stark family. But then we get the great point of Sansa and Arya working together, saying, look, you're not going to split us sisters up like you did when Mum and our auntie. And Sansa says something really apt that I really liked about her character, because there was points where I'm going, oh Jesus, Hen, surely you can see that he's playing you. And she says, I'm a slow learner, but trust me, I learn. And obviously Peter's played his hand one too many times. There's a quick glance we see with Theon. Theon's decided, he talks to Jon, and Jon kind of says, look, it's not for me to forgive, but in my opinion, my dad raised you, so you're part Greyjoy, but you're also part Stark. And we then see him kind of, Theon gets a bit brave, he takes his brave pills and he goes down, he's like, right, we need to go rescue my sister, we need to go rescue Yara, gets in a fight, and like, it was good, but at the same time I was like, oh god, I don't believe they just done that. The guy near him and his Action Man crotch, like the smooth area, and I get why they done it. It was like a bit of a kind of, fair enough, he's got his dick cut off, but it helped in this fight. It was cool, but like at the same time, they're awfully fickle. The Iron Isles, they changed their loyalties quite very easily this way. But again, it was a nice wee moment. I think we'll see Theon kind of regain some morality in the next season if he saves Yara, and after everything he's done, he's kind of flopped back and forward with being, we hate him, we feel sorry for him, we hate him, we feel sorry for him. But we then go back up, we see Jaime. Jaime's preparing for the battle to march north towards Winterfell, and Cersei comes in and, why were you doing this for? And he's like, well, we're going to Winterfell. And she this line as well, very she meant to say this line. She says, I've always known you were the most stupid Lannister, referring obviously to Tyrion, because Tyrion's fighting against him and this, that. So she starts talking to him, and he's like, look, we've made a promise, we need to, and she's, oh, I'm baby, I've got baby, pregnant, and he's like, look, there's not going to be a baby if we don't go kill, there's not going to be a world if we don't help, blah, blah, blah. And he's like, look, and this is another reason why I think these characters are so well drawn out in the series, because Jaime, if we're going good guy, bad guy, Jaime's in the bad guy camp, but Jaime's a good character, and he shows that in there. He's like, look, I've made a promise, I'm going to do it. And we see the final straw in all bad relationships when he decides to walk out, when she threatens to kill him. She threatens to kill him, he's like, you're really going to kill me? And we see the mountain. This was by far the point I thought they're actually going to kill one of the good guys. They didn't kill him. Obviously he walks past the mountain, and again, second moment of weakness for Cersei, and it just shows that is her weak point, is her family and her brother lover. So we see that Jaime just decides to turn. He leaves all his armour, and he's obviously going to go and try and, I don't know who he's going to meet up with. Someone brought up an interesting point. Oh, do we think Bronn will be with him? I actually don't. I don't think Bronn will go with him. I think Bronn will stay with Cersei, because he still wants his castle. He still wants his his payment, and Jaime won't be able to give him it because obviously all the money's coming through Cersei. So it'll be interesting to see where he actually where Bronn ends up as well. But it'll be good to see the next season where Jaime's going to go. I'm assuming he's just going to go straight for Tyrion and just say, look, I'm coming to help. We're now getting to the end of the second to last scene. We see Sam. Sam comes in and he's talking to Bran. And Bran, I get he's supposed to be this mythical, all-seeing, but crack a smile, mate, man. Jesus. I'm a three-eyed raven. I know I've seen the fairy. Smile. You just met Sam. Sam's lovely. So Sam comes in and Bran talks about how he knows of Jon's heritage. He's the only one that knows that he's actually Rhaegar Targaryen's bastard. So he's actually not Jon Snow. He's Jon San, because that's the Dornish for a bastard is San. And obviously we found out that Sam does pay attention to his girlfriend because he informs him that no, Rhaegar got annulled and then was married to Lyanna. We see Bran go and witness it, or go back in time and witness it, and he's like, right, okay then, he's not a San, he's actually, and we see Lyanna say he's Aegon Targaryen, so he is now the heir to the Iron Throne, which I kind of don't agree with because I still think it's Gendry, because Robert Baratheon was the last rightful king. He usurped the Targaryen, so he's now the king. So the next in line should have been Gendry, but it wasn't. It was Joffrey. So unless the Targaryens manage to take it over, it's all going to be it's going to be very interesting. But then again, just to go back to the Bran point, Bran has become such a boring character. He's going to be pivotal next season, I tell you that. But Bran has become basically a plot device in this. So at the end, he's kind of just rubber stamped something that we kind of knew, and he just says, yeah, that's true. And what made it weird was obviously is we were discovering this that Jon was actually a Targaryen. We already kind of knew it. We got the weirdest love scene because we all kind of wanted it to happen, but at the same time they're family, so it's wrong. I watched one review and he was like, well, I mean, it's aunt and nephew sex, which isn't the worst. I mean, there's worse than that, which kind of true when you consider brother-sister sex, but at the same time they're still family and they're still fucking. But it was just funny, you had Bran doing the monologue over Jon lying on top of Dany. That was an awesome sex scene as well, the two of them. So what else have I wrote here? So then we got right at the very, very final scene, we see the wall, and another thing that I was so pleased with, because I says this would be the last scene that we would see, and I was so happy that it was. And there's also something else I'm very happy with. So we see Tormund and Barrack talks about, oh, it's a long way down, and then we start seeing one or two wee ant people coming out, and then thousands come out, and they've obviously arrived at the wall. And then we see the Night King on Viserion, and we get blue fire, we get frost fire. It was amazing. It was such a good climax to the season, such a great ending. This is the point. They've never been beyond this point. This was where we had to end it for the next season. This was amazing. And obviously for me, I was pleased that Viserion was blue fire, because you'll see Viserion and Drogon, I think, going at it, and then you'll have the red fire and the fire mice, basically. That's what you're going to have. And I like the term Frostfire, which I also got from that Collider's Game of Thrones review, which was really good. So that's us at the end of the episode. It was I loved it. I really did. Because I heard a lot of people were talking that there wasn't an impactful death. Like, obviously we had teases of Tyrion and Jaime dying. If one of those died, it would have been unreal. But I thought we got Peter Baelish dying, which was good, because I was itching for him. I was desperate for him to get what was coming to him. And we got the wall fall, and that was a monumental moment. We got Jon and Dany finally getting together. One thing on that, we did see, while they were bumping uglies, we did see Tyrion outside, kind of not listening in, but like knowing something's going on. And I don't know whether it's because he's got feelings for Dany, or he's had a feeling that maybe Jon is related or something. I don't know, but it was kind of skulky what was happening. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to kind of give you my impressions of the overall season, and then I'm going to talk about what I expect in the next season. I think this season was one of, if not my favourite of Game of Thrones, because I've heard people talking about it could be seen as a part 1, part 2. So this season was basically Game of Thrones The End, part 1. And the other way I put it was, this is like a meal. This is your starter. This is your appetizer. This is getting you ready for your main course. This is your garlic bread, if you will. And your spaghetti bolognese is coming at a later date, 2 years down the line, apparently. But it's one of these things where I loved everything that happened, and each episode always had a little something that were like, oh, amazing. Like at the very beginning with Arya killing Walter Frey, you've had the small battle with the Unsullied. You had the first time we seen Drogon really use his fire and destroying the Lannister armies. There was loads of wee moments within each episode, but each episode took us further and further in the plot to see where we're going to be for season 8. And I thought the full season was executed so well. There was no real weak points. We've seen every character that we wanted to see. And the one thing I would say about, we didn't want a lot of people to die, because we've still got another season to go, and this season, it's only 6 episodes. Characters are going to fall like dominoes. Like, you're going to get the Clegane Bowl, so you can see the 2 of them probably dying off there. There's going to be more dragon. I think there's going to be at least 2 dragon deaths. They're going to have a biggie. They're going to have a Tyrion dying. They're going to have a Dany dying. I think there's a chance Daenerys might die, now that we know Jon is the heir to the throne. Could go either way, but I think we've already seen Jon's death, so it would be pretty lackluster if we've seen him die again. But some of the things I'm expecting next season, we're going to get more battles. We're going to see the Unsullied and the Dothraki in full tilt. We'll see them going for it. The special effects are just absolutely stunning in this show. The dragons, the giants, the Walking Dead, the army, the White Walkers, it's all phenomenal. Even the polar bear we had as well. The wolves will need to make, I think we're going to get some dire wolves back. Arya will probably carry on her list. She's still got a few to go. Who else will we see? I think Jaime's pretty much turned on Cersei. There might be a chance. I think when he finds out that she's not pregnant, he might kill her. I think we're going to see tension between Jon and Daenerys once they find out that Jon is the rightful heir to the throne. Tyrion might die because it's a biggie. I don't want him to, but he might. And I think the big one we'll see, and I love this fan theory because it makes my least favourite character interesting again, and that is that Bran is the Night King, and it also makes so much sense. Because if he does go back in time and the Children of the Forest make him the Night King, and people keep he's obviously used as a plot device. It would be so boring if he went, don't do that, I've seen it, don't do that, don't do that, I've seen that, don't do that, come here, He's obviously got all this power that he can see in the future, the past and the present, but he's not seen everything yet. He still needs to pick his point of where he wants to see and what he wants to see and who he wants to see. So it would be interesting if he's like, right, if it does look dire that everybody's going to die, that he goes back and tries to stop the creation of the Night Walker, the Night King, and he actually is the catalyst that starts all this. He is the Night King. I think that would be so clever. Now, just to finish this video, obviously the next season isn't for another year and a half, 2 years. I'm going to give you my prediction. I'm going to give you my top 3 that I think will be on the Iron Throne. Number 3 is Dany. I think we've been leading up to that through 7 series. I think there's a good chance that she could end up. Number 2 is Gendry. In my opinion, the rightful king. There's got to be a reason that they've kept this character. He could be used by Cersei if she finds out that he's still alive. And number 1 is obviously Jon Snow or Aegon Targaryen, if you will. But I think Jon Snow is he's the rightful king, and he's probably the best person to be the king. Now, that was my review of episode 7, The Dragon and the Wolf, and my thoughts on the full series. guys, let me know what you thought of the series as a whole and this finale episode. Pop all your thoughts in the comment section. Let me know what you thought of my review and let me know what you're looking forward to in the next season of Game of Thrones. I'm going to put up another review video tomorrow, I think, of I'm going to see Logan Lucky. I'm also thinking about doing a video about the game Uncharted. There's been a lot of talk about it becoming a film, and I've just picked up the latest from the line of Uncharted, so I'm going to kind of do a wee video on that. But as ever, if you like this video, hit the like button. If you know people that are interested in Game of Thrones and think they would enjoy this video, share it with them. If you enjoy movie stuff, game stuff, TV series stuff, subscribe to my channel. I put out videos as much as I can once I've got the time. And yeah, thank you very much for watching, and I will see you on another time.